So the first play that we're going to talk about is The Second Woman. This is where you have the character of Eve. It reminds me sort of a blue-collar version of a Bergman play. I don't know if you necessarily agree with that summation, but I thought that the depiction of this particular character and sort of her flightiness was well wrought. Just give me some brief summaries of The Second Woman, because I thought it was also interesting that she was on the second on your list of women to bed, as well as the title coming from the John Cassavetes play.
Yeah, well, that the
I'm sorry, not play. It's film.
The play within the film.
Yeah.
The film was opening night. Yeah, that's where I thought of using that from. And so this was based on a woman that I did date on and off for about 4.5, 5, 6 months, somewhere over like I think 96 to 97. She was a local rock singer. She had her own band in the Twin Cities back 20-some years ago. She was a drunk, and basically during the time, I mean, there was this dancer that I had wanted or liked instead. She was friends with her and often collaborated with her. That's how I met her, the Eve character, the real-life version. So I just wanted to sort of depict it. And I thought the interesting thing, or the idea that came to me, was to do it in reverse, to start at the end with the breakup, because the breakup was kind of funny. It was a rainy, cold, late winter, maybe it was late February, March, or April of 97, I guess it was, and I hadn't seen her for a few months after we had stopped sort of seeing each other. And the last time I saw her, I was actually with a friend of mine, Dylan, who was known then as, now he called himself David Wall, his real name, but Dylan Wall, as he was known back then. And we went to this gallery opening. I forget who, someone in the Twin Cities. I was always being asked to come to events, and it ended with her coming out, seeing me there, and as I'm getting ready to drive away, she wanted to get back together with me, because she had, over the course of months, she would go away for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks with her band up north to Minnesota or to Wisconsin or to North Dakota or whatever. They'd play a handful of gigs and she would come back, and we'd maybe date once or twice a week, and she'd take off again. So it wasn't really a relationship so much as we would just hang out together and whatnot. And we, had sex a few times. And, she then went back at one point for a few weeks with this guy who was in her band, who then left her band. The typical kind of shit. And then finally I just got sort of tired of her, and that was it. And then after a few months, I saw her at this event, and she just was like crying, and it was sort of raining, drizzly, cold, and she wanted to blow me in the parking lot. And I was like, "Come on, stop this! It's ridiculous." And so I thought that was a good place to start it, and then work backwards towards when we met. Sort of like that movie Memento, but more interesting, I think, because it wasn't a murder mystery or anything. It was just how it was. And it also gave me a good chance to put in someone like Don Moss as the Ken Ross character. It gave me a chance to have some of the stuff. I think that's the play where I have Fuck Luck Do, the Vietnamese kid, and then I have the fat lesbian, and I have the chanting PC people, about queer Asians and racist lesbians, and It
also has the reason I brought up Bergman is because it has this letter section that reminds me a lot of him. And you sent me a template for this play, and it's interesting to note how you don't necessarily overplot. Just sort of fill in the basic gist of each of the scenes, and then expand from them. And sometimes you diverge from the written material that you have in your template.